Everything is cheaper if you give it a tax break or a subsidy. Not just renewable energy. Everything is cheaper if you give it a tax break or a subsidy. And I wish my colleagues from California and Florida were here to talk about cold weather energy production. It's something we know a little bit about in North Dakota. And you know what we think environmental justice is? Making sure the heat comes on when it's 70 degrees below wind chill. And to give you an idea why we don't have wind turbines going when it's 35 below is because we don't make them. Because it's incredibly expensive to heat them. And why would they? The average lifespan of a wind turbine is 20 years. 6 months regular maintenance. Anybody have any idea when the average repower of a wind farm is? It's 10 years. Anybody know why? Because that's when the repower tax credit kicks in. We create these policies. Ms. Pridemore, I appreciated your answer when you said the responsibility ends with you for the power coming back on. I just wish we didn't tie one hand behind your back all the time. Today, MISO is running 27.3% coal, 37.6% natural gas, 14.2% nuclear, 8.3 wind, 5 solar. That's today. But when it's 70 degrees below zero, there's no wind, none, zero. And so coal and natural gas spikes. And Mr. Houston, when you talk about all of the above energy, I think we do this so often. And I will be the first one to admit Republicans were late to the game on this conversation. We were late on carbon. We were late on climate change. We were late on all of those things. So now we take on those buzzwords and those catchwords. The problem with all of the above is it only works if the pie chart stays in equilibrium. Because at some point in time, intermittent weather-dependent energy, when it gets too big to be too big on the pie chart, what happens to coal or natural gas plants? They go out of business. They have to make money every day. So they're running, you were just talking about peaker plants with Mr. Hens, but they have to make money every day. Otherwise, they're not available when we need it, when it is 70 degrees below zero. So I asked this when FERC was in here below, and then I want to talk to you about RTL load forecasting. That should be riveting. However, it's very important. We're the greatest country in the history of the world. And let's just assume through all the renewable utopia that exists, we can power this entire country for 360 out of 365 days a year on wind and solar. What do we do the other 5? Do state governments subsidize coal plants, natural gas plants, nuclear plants? Does the federal government subsidize those things? Or does the greatest country in the history of the world just go dark for 5 days a year? I hope it's not in January in North Dakota. Because otherwise we got serious, serious problems.